Hi YouTube, it's Maddie the Emptiness Scrapper. I'm so glad you stopped by. I'm coming back to you today with episode 2 of my organization series. And if you are interested in watching an organizational series, I hope you subscribe. And if you like what you see, I hope you give a thumbs up. Please leave me a comment below and let me know what you would like to see. And let's get started. So here is my super sophisticated piece of paper that I use to help me figure out what I want to do with my space. If you saw the first episode, you would see that I had a diagram already, but that diagram was from 2017. And anyone who has been crafting for years, or at least a few years, has come across the organizational problem of I keep bringing things in and I have to change how I store it. So this time I have the sheets on 2 separate sheets, so it'll be easier for you to see. Last time it was front and back. I will link episode 1 in the description box in case you want to start from the beginning. But in this episode, I went around my room and took note of all of the things that I have. So it is nothing fancy at all. These are my cubes. They are not IKEA cubes. That would not fit in my space. I have a very small space, which requires reorganization quite a bit because I do like my crafty things. I do like having different toys and trying new things, and so this is the storage that I am probably gonna have to stick with and learn how to make it work for me. So in these little cubes, I have small paper, ribbon punches, I have my sprays, my enamel dots, my fuse tool, my acrylic paints, stencils, dry adhesive, mixed media. You can see everything is labeled. And the main thing is not to go through every single piece right now, but what do I look for? So for example, on this page, these are iris containers that are stacked like drawers. You can pull them out. A second set is over here. And I have a ridiculous problem with stickers. These categories are all stickers, all the way up to the second side here, stickers in these two. This is a problem because I have way too many stickers. Nobody needs this many stickers. However, you know as well as I do, you may have a problem with items that you have too many of, but you love them, you bought them because you love them, and you want to keep them. So even though this is a problem, I want to keep them. And I did address this overabundance last year by reorganizing these, and it was a big job. I got the idea for the system I use from RTS Scrapbooking. I will link her channel. I don't think she is doing videos anymore, but she has great organizational ideas. So that kind of problem I don't really need to address, but I know it's a problem and I keep it in mind when I am shopping. I will say one of the benefits of going through your room, when you see all that you have, I have basically stopped buying stickers since I did this. I at least am able to see what I have, and if there is a category maybe that I am short or that I'm doing a certain project and I need some more, I can see that more readily because they are organized. Here is the ever popular empty drawers. You can see they're not labeled. And that is the dream that we all have of having a space, and when you bring home something new that you don't have any of, you have a space ready for it to go in. I'm going to see if I can create more of those as I reorganize my room. So when I do this kind of diagram, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for problem areas. So that one was a problem that I had already addressed. And you know as well as I do, it is very satisfying when you address your problem and you do make it work for you. So the goal in the end is for us to all feel great when we're done. Another problem that many of us have is we started looking at a certain type of item. Let's say washi tape. I don't have a washi tape problem, but I've seen many, many crafters who have an overabundance of washi tape. And the problem is that the washi tape that they have, even if they love it and want to keep it, no longer fits in the storage that they had been using for it. So if you have a problem that your items no longer fit in the storage, you need to figure out if you want to move it to a different kind of storage, move it to a different location in your room, or do you want to let some of it go? An example of an overstock where you don't have a problem that the item doesn't fit can also be an issue. So I have an example of that waiting here. I have an overstock here of blending brushes. So anyone who likes to use inks, ink pads, stamping, making backgrounds, you are very familiar with this guy. Maybe you have one, maybe you have several. I have several. And it was a love-hate relationship. When I could get it to work the way I wanted it to work, I loved them. But then I saw Tim Holtz demo these. And I thought, these look super cool. Look, they are in a nifty case. They have their own cover. They fit in this little tin. You can change the size. I thought this was the answer. But even though it was better for me than this guy, it turns out that there was something better for me, and that was these guys. And I love these guys. I use them and love them. These colorful ones I use for my oxide ink. There are larger and smaller sizes. If you're going to be careful not to mix your oxides with your dye inks, then you may want more than one set. And these are really my go-to. And of course, if those are good, then what about this guy? Look at the size of that brush. I thought, well, that looks super fun. I needed to get a few of those. And then Scrapbook.com came out with these, which fit on top of these, which I already have. These have a dome top. I don't know if I like them yet because I haven't tried them. I just got them. It's not as if I don't have any blending tools. I have an overabundance of blending tools, but I do love to blend. And I do love all of the tools except for this one. So when I bought this one, the ones that I do love hadn't come out yet, or I didn't know about them. So this kind of overstock, a little set like this, which is perfectly good, and I know I'm never going to use them again, that's a problem for me. I don't want to make space for things that I know I'm not going to use. So I may share this with a crafty friend. I may donate this to a school or a preschool. I don't know if they would have any use for that. Or I may do a giveaway. Leave me a message down below if you're interested in a giveaway for those Tim Holtz blending brushes. They are compact, easy to store. They work well. I just don't like them as much as the other things that I have, and I want somebody to use them. So that's another example of overstock. Different example of a problem area, which I try to identify when I put the diagram together, is it a mess? Do you see this drawer here? There's no label on it. Do you want to know why? There's no label on it because it's a mess. That's what I should put to label that drawer. It's a mess. And that mess will be something that I will probably address on the video for one of the next episodes of the organization series. I cannot be the only one who has an It's a Mess drawer, and it's not that that's my only It's a Mess drawer. I have another 2 at least It's a Mess drawer, and I don't know if I'm going to do all of them as part of the series, but I will do at least one, or I will attempt to do at least one. It's a mess is a problem in organization for me. My last problem is when I went through what I had, I noticed that I had not swatched an entire section of my supplies. And that section was my alcohol inks. I believe they're on the other side. When I brought them in, it did not occur to me to swatch them. And that is a pet peeve of mine. I need to have everything swatched. I want to see what it looks like. I want to see if I need different colors. I want to swatch the caps so I know what is there. So keeping up to date with my organization is another piece that I look at when I want to do a big reorganization of my room. Another thing I look at is, even if my storage fits, is it working for me? I had seen a video offered by Jennifer McGuire, the queen of organization, quite some time ago. I'm sure many of you have seen it as well. And she stored her embossing powders in one of these plastic containers. And I used my label maker and I added this adorable little spoon, just like Jennifer McGuire did. And I started to use this for my embossing, and guess what? I hate it. Now, I saw Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing talking about this not too long ago. She was changing this method as well, only because she did not have a space where she could lay it flat, and she found that the embossing powder was spilling all over her space. My embossing powder is laying flat in my drawer, so that's not my problem. My problem is that this teeny tiny container is annoying to use. I would see people taking their embossing powder, dumping it on their project with a coffee filter below or a piece of copy paper below. Bing, bang, boom. They'd pour it on, they'd pour it back in, and they were done. I'm sitting with this little spoon trying to balance over this tiny little container, not doing it anymore. We are changing that, and that's a fact. So this concludes episode 2 of my storage organization crafty video. If there's something you'd like to see in the future, if there's something that you want to know how to organize, or you have a suggestion for me for my organization, I would love to know it. I would love to bring you exactly what you would like to see, and I would love it if you would comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next episode is coming. Bye-bye, YouTube. Stay safe, everyone.